My next door neighbors are so loud that we can literally hear everything they talk about. It makes me so paranoid because I don't know how loud. I mean, I don't think we're very loud over here, but I do have a loud speaking voice. I'm just like so nervous that they can hear what I'm saying. And I tried to time recording this podcast with when no one was home, and I saw them leave, and I got all my stuff set up, and then I just peeked out the window and they're back already. It's been like 10 minutes. I guess I'm just a little embarrassed because I'm sitting here talking to my phone about knitting. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of the Krafty Kristina Podcast. My name is Kristina. I'm crafty. I am your host, and I am so happy to see you. This is episode 11, you guys. How crazy is that? I feel like I've been podcasting for well over a year now. I know I took like a bit of a break, but getting back into this like cycle of recording and like chatting with you, and I feel like we've built quite a bit of a community the last couple of weeks. So if you're new here, hello, welcome over. This is the last podcast for 2022. Can you believe it? Believe it, because it's vlogmas week, baby. And so while this is the last podcast episode for the year, this is not the last time you're going to be seeing me. So if you're into Vlogmas, or if you're new to this channel, or you don't know what Vlogmas is, I'm going to be doing it. Vlogmas is basically you upload a vlog or video every day in December leading up to Christmas. And so I'm going to be doing that. Starts December 1st. I haven't decided if I'm going to record on November 30th, which should be the day that you're watching this, and then upload that on December 1st, or if I'll just start recording on December 1st and upload the first video on December 2nd. Either way, keep your eyes peeled for a video pretty much every day in December leading up to probably the day after Christmas. I have a decent amount of stuff to talk about today, so I've got a list. Today we're going to talk about, I've got 2 finished objects, I've got 1 half finished object, I've got 3 new cast-ons. I have a stash update and loads of acquisitions. Just put your like horse blinders on and disregard everything I said about never buying yarn. I actually didn't buy that much, but also going to talk about my Advents and December knitting. Going to announce a giveaway winner later in this episode, and then we're going to have some plants again. So sit back, relax, grab your crafting. I've got my second cup of coffee here. And let's get into it. All right, you guys, finished objects. Let's talk about this. Are they in this bag? I'm a little bit of a mess. I'm recording in my office today. Let me just pull all of my things out of my great big bag of everything. I have, all right, let's talk about finished objects. The first finished object is a Musselburgh. I finished this Musselburgh hat. I'll unfold it to show you. Hopefully that's focusing. I finished this Musselburgh hat for my friend Megan. I actually wanted to ship this off to her already, but I decided I would wait until I showed it on the podcast. I am so happy with this. I think it came out really lovely. I knit this pattern. It's Musselburgh by Isolde Teague. And I'll link my Ravelry page down below. I'm really trying hard to keep my projects up to date so that you can just go click and like scroll through everything that I've done. This I knit in Kimber's Cozier Creations Fingering Weight Colorway Crazy Sock Lady. I've talked about this probably 3,000 times before, but if you're new, that's what this is. I ended up getting gauge on a size 4 needle. And so that's what I did. I don't know, pretty proud. So I'm going to ship this off to her as an early and Christmas present just because gift. So I finished that. The next thing that I finished, guys, I have so much to tell you about this pair of socks. I finally finished this pair of socks. I finished this pair of socks twice. So this is a pair of socks for a lady-in-law for Christmas, using the colorway Confetti by Lazio Ranch Yarns, a local dyer to my area. I really had a lot of fun knitting this colorway. I did not have a lot of fun knitting these socks. This lady-in-law needed socks to fit about a size 9 shoe. And so for me, that means after I do the gusset decreases with my gauge on a size US 1, I use a 9-inch circular. Trying to add in more information for you newbies who might be watching. That's 60 rounds between the gusset decreases and the toe. And I think on one of these socks that I finished and was so excited about finishing, I only did 40 rounds. So I was about to finish the second sock. And if you watch my last What I Knit in a Week vlog, where I think a lot of you new people are from, you'll know that I never really finished the video because I got so frustrated when I noticed the mistake. So what I did was I ended up finishing one of the socks way too short. When I went to finish my second sock, I was like, okay, let me make sure this looks correct. And the sock that I had on my needles with about 60 stitches for the foot after the gusset decreases, 60 stitches, 60 rounds knit. I noticed it was way too long, and I counted the other, and it wasn't even long enough to fit my teeny tiny foot. So big sad, and I had to do some surgery. So I finished the one sock, and then as I was trying to do the other sock, I was like, okay, how am I going to do this? Well, I could, spoiler alert, I cut off the freaking toe because I was really mad. So you'll see here, what I tried to do was unravel the toe, and I thought that I could just tink back until like before the toe and then just keep knitting, but I weaved in the ends so good, and then I cut my yarn and I had too many ends, and it was super late, and I was super mad, and I was really frustrated, and I took my scissors and I did something that I'd never done before, and I cut the whole frickin' toe off, okay? I cut the whole frackin' toe off, and I looked at it, and it was a mess, and I didn't know what to do, and so I took like a 32-inch size 1 needle, and I went through, and I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna pick up the stitches, and that's what I did. I just tried to pick up as many stitches as I could around the toe, around the foot, where I left off, and it was a huge disaster. Like, ends were everywhere. The cut was uneven. I was a maniac and ruined the sock, I thought. So after about a week of being mad at the sock, I decided that I was going to try and fix it. And clearly I did. So I actually told somebody that I would attempt to record like a small tutorial to stitch into the middle of this so you could see what I did. And apologies to that person, because I tried to record a video and it ended up being way worse than I expected, and there was nothing salvageable about it for a tutorial, but I will link the video that I used down below to help me clear up my picked up stitches, because I know there's some of you out there that probably needed to do the same thing as me, and I guess if that's something you're interested in, I could try to show you on a future sock. So maybe leave me a comment and let me know if that would be a tutorial that you're interested in. Because here's what I did, you guys. I had a really messy, like, picked up round where I inserted the sock. And so I went in and I tried to use an Afterthought heel tutorial. I'm blanking on the person that I watched, but I promise I'll put the link down below so you could find it. And I went in and I went a couple rows down and I picked up some stitches, but what I did was I didn't pick up stitches straight. I picked up a couple of stitches above a row and below a row. So really I picked up like 3 rows worth of stitches Does that make sense? So like I kind of wanted to go in a straight line, and instead of going in a straight line, I accidentally picked up some up here, and then I went back down, and then I accidentally picked up some down here, and then I went back up. It was a real mess. And so when I went in and tried to like unravel my yarn that I had cut, I had like 4 or 5 different ends, and when I got there I realized I didn't pick up in a straight line, and I tried to tink back, but then I ended up unknitting too many rows, and then I had all of this extra like looped yarn. I don't even know if this makes any sense. I just had too many ends and too many loops, and then I ended up having to tink back until basically my yarn was freed and I could, attach it to my ball. So that's what I did. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I finished these and they're really pretty. So these will be going to a lady-in-law for Christmas. I started these way back in like July. So I'm really glad to have these off the needles, and I think they're really cute, and I think she's really gonna love them. So it's my second finished object. My third finished object is I just wanted to tell you that I sewed in the ends. I weaved in the ends on these, which I told you I would do in the last episode. When I felt like it, so don't ask me about it. And when I weaved in the ends on the toes for these, I was like, I'm just gonna finish these socks. And so I've worn these a couple times. They're really snuggly. And I'm happy to have some Christmas socks to wear. So those are my finished objects. I also have a half finished object, which was a new cast on, and I made an impulse decision, which if you watched my last What I Knit in a Week video, if you didn't, I'll link it up here so you can click and watch it later, or down here. I'll put it somewhere so you can go find it after this. But I made an impulse decision to cast on a bunch of gift knits for a couple of different reasons, but also because I recorded a gift knit with me video using some holiday music and the Pomodoro focus technique that I have mentioned before I really love doing to focus me in my non-knitting job. And so I premiered that, I think last week at this point, but it's there for your viewing pleasure. Use it to relax this holiday season. Get some 30 minutes of knitting in, give yourself a 5-minute stretch or get a snack break. Just relax and have fun and knit with it all holiday season long. Love me. But I needed some new cast-ons for that video. And so one of the things I cast on was a pair of socks for my mom. And I finished one. So these are also going to be for Christmas. This is fingering weight yarn called, I think it's by Backyard Fiber Co. Someone who's a local dyer to me as well. I will try to link them down below so you can go check them out. I got this at a local fiber festival last fall with my mom in mind. I've mentioned this before, I think, but for the new people, I picked this colorway because there's an ice cream place in my hometown that has my 2 favorite flavors, and my mom's 2 favorite flavors are chocolate and black raspberry, and that's usually our go-to combo when they go there, or when we go there. And these colors are almost exactly what that ice cream looks like. So I got this for her. The color is called And a Cherry Tree, I think. I can't remember if I just mentioned that, but anyway. So I knit these for her, again, size 9 shoe. So I did knit 2, purl 2, ribbing for the cuff, 20 rounds. I did 50 rounds for the leg, slip stitch heel flap, and gusset, and then same thing, after the gusset decreases, I did 60 rounds for the toe, cast on 64 stitches for that sock. So I finished this, and then I cast on the second, and I am currently working through the foot of this sock. So I'm hopeful that I can actually finish this today. I wanted to finish it over the weekend, but I didn't get there. So I'm using it for my Pomodoro knitting at work, and I actually have a pretty meeting heavy week, particularly on Tuesday, so which is tomorrow. And I'm hopeful that if I don't finish that then, I'll finish it if I don't finish it today, I'll be able to get that finished tomorrow. So that's, I have object and another new cast on. The other new cast on, I've got 2 more new cast on. The other new cast on that I did for that Pomodoro gift knitting video was a pair of socks for my friend Melanie. She sent me some yarn in the mail earlier this year, asked me to knit her socks. When I had some time, pick a color that I liked. She sent me some options. And so I was thinking that I would get these started for a Christmas gift for her, but her birthday is also in January. So I'm going to be kind of flexible with myself on these socks. For her, probably going to be a birthday gift. Because I do want to allow myself to not be stressed and just like relax and have fun during Vlogmas and my Advent knitting. So this is the sock. This is Sweet Georgia Yarns. Wait, do I have the tag? And we have about the same size foot. So I'm knitting the same size for myself. Yes. Okay, here's the tag. Sweet Georgia Yarns Cash Lux Fine. The blend is 70% superwash merino wool, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. And the colorway is Fauna. So there's that. So I'm knitting these for her. Just 1 sock on the needle, but again, started it for a gift knit video because it is that. So it is so squishy and soft, by the way. And I knit all of my socks on a 9-inch circular US size 1. And then I use magic loop for the toe. The final new cast on that I have is a Musselburgh for Zach. I cast this on last week. So last week was Thanksgiving here in the States. And I knew that we were going to have a crap load of visiting time and being in the car. And I wanted to get this started too. So this colorway, I don't know what it is. It was gifted by a friend, but it's a really pretty blue. It's a little bit darker than what the camera is showing. But I don't know if you can tell, there's like some green flecks in there. So I cast this hat on for him. I got gauged this time on a US size 3. So you can see some of the green in there. Yeah. So I cast this on, got through the decreases, and then I have that for just, you know, regular vanilla knitting when I'm on the go. And that's going to be a Christmas gift for him. And that's it. Those are all of my current works in progress. I wanted to give you a bit of a stash update / acquisitions. It's only the 28th of November, so I don't quite have a full month of November in-out count, but I know pretty much where I'm going to be. I haven't done the math, so I might need to pause this to do the math, but I'm going to show you. I started the month of November with 105 skeins of yarn in my stash. I had a lot of things come into my lap this month that I wasn't anticipating. Some surprises I found in my stash from frogging some projects, and some gifts, and a couple of impulse buys. So I'm just going to start. I have a ginormous pile over here, so I'm just going to start at the top. You know what? I guess I'm going to say the only real purchase I made this month was my friend Jenny of Mountain State Stitches. I use her bags a lot, mostly, actually. So I've talked about her before. She has started dyeing yarn, and so she had a surprise shop update. She's been teasing this for a while. I've been anxious to get my hands on some of it, and she had a shop update last week, I think. I'll link her down below, where she put up some of her yarns for the very first time, and so I couldn't pass up an opportunity to, 1, get my hands on some of them, but 2, support her. And so I bought 2 skeins from her. So these are the 2 that I got. This is much more mint than the camera is showing, but I'll do my best. This base is fingering weight. It's 75/25 superwash merino nylon in the colorway Christmas Cheer. And it is just so pretty. I really want to knit myself some socks out of this. It's pretty much my plan for that. And the other skein that I got here, I'm not sure what I'm going to make. I mean, obviously socks is an option, but I really want to knit myself a Musselburgh, and I think this would be a really fun cutie colorway to try that in. Same base, fingering weight, 75/25 superwash merino nylon. And this colorway is Brainstorm. And what drew me to this one is that this is my favorite color, this like bright teal. And I love like the greens and the golds and the pinks in there. So just too good. So I purchased these from Jenny. So that's that. I'm trying to go through my list here to make sure I've got like my stash tracker. Look, this is what went out. This is all that's in. So that's that. I also had one of the lady-in-laws went to a local yarn store, and she was doing like a girls' weekend with a couple of her friends. And where they were going out, like shopping, there was a yarn store. And so she saw it and she sent me a picture and she's like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to buy something. And I didn't think she was serious, but then we had them over for dinner. A couple nights later, she's like, look, I did buy you something. And look at this so cute yarn. I think she thought maybe it would be socks. And part of me thinks she's really itching for another pair of socks, but little does she know I already knit her a pair for Christmas. So she asked me if this could be socks. I think I'm actually going to find like a fingerless mitts pattern and make that for myself next year. And then if I have leftovers, maybe a matching pair for her. This is Knit 1, Crochet 2, Batista. I hope that's how you say it, because if not, I'm just got Dexter on the brain. This is 50 grams each. 50% fine merino wool, 30% linen, and 20% silk. And the colorway is berry. And it is just so beautiful. So I've got 2 of those, so 100 grams total. So hopefully I can make some mitts out of that. Okay, let me do my Broadway yarns first. So my October Broadway yarn came late, and I didn't get to show that or count it in October. So it's here for November stash, and that was this skein. If you're new and you don't know, I love musical theater. And I was a theater major in college, so I love the arts. I wanted to be an opera singer for a long time, fun fact. And so I'm just singing and dancing my way through all the things I do in my life. And Trilogy Yarns has a Broadway musical monthly yarn club. And so what she does is she picks a musical, she sends you a photo of the playbill, and then she dyes the yarn to match. So October skein was The Prom. And here is that colorway. I think this is so pretty. And this is going to be like a year that I've been doing it. My first club was in December is when she started it, so I'm really excited about it. The base that I get for her is, for the club at least, is the MCN 4-ply fingering weight. So it's 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So this was October skein, but November skein came, and I actually emailed her because I have all of my Broadway yarns and I'm trying to figure out what to make with it. The last episode, I think I talked about wanting to do a blanket, but I started plotting. This will probably be another video and planning what I'm going to knit in 2023. And I want to knit myself more socks to wear. I knit a lot for other people because I love them and I find a lot of joy in that. But I also am remembering how cold it is here now that we're like getting into December. And I really want some more hand knit socks for myself. So I'm thinking that I might try to knit myself a pair of socks every month in 2023. And I really want to try and knit myself a pair of socks with every Broadway yarn. I think that's my plan. And then whatever's left over, I'll throw into like a blanket or a scrappy something. But as I was planning for that, I realized I lost one of my favorite skeins of yarn in our move. And that was the musical Little Shop of Horrors. So I emailed Nancy of Trilogy Yarns and I asked her if she had any left over that I could buy from her of that colorway. And so she did send me that when I got my November club. So earlier in the year, I misplaced Little Shop of Horrors, which is this. And I'm kind of obsessed with Little Shop for a number of reasons. It's probably one of my favorite musicals. And I played Audrey in Little Shop when I was in high school. And it's just so fun. It makes me want to dance. It's like one of those shows. Sometimes if you're in a theater, you know, like sometimes you're in a show and you're just like, I hate it. I don't want to hear the song ever again. Like I was in Annie. I hate Annie. Okay. I don't want to hear the songs. I don't want to see it on TV. It's a hard knock life. Okay. I don't want it. I don't want it. Little Shop was not one of those for me. It's one that I'm like super obsessed with. But that came from a previous month. But then this month's was cats. And this is the colorway. Look how amazingly she's captured this like cat eye color. I can't. Anyway, so these are like the highlight surprise packages of my month. Because I never know how they're going to come out and what it's going to be. So I have those yarns. Okay. And then the other things is I actually had a Knit Picks Bear come in. One of my friends sent it to me to finish my habitation throw that I showed in the last episode. I haven't really worked a lot on it, so I'm not showing it today. So I had that come in. That was new, but I also counted it as going out because I just shoved it in the bag where that project lives. I was organizing my stash and I frogged a project and I got 3 skeins back into my stash from this. So this is like a cream. I can't remember what it is, but this is one skein that came back in. Another skein that came back in to my stash. And then I have this mohair that was in it. I frogged a jigsaw puzzle by Stephen West. I just wasn't working on it. I like the pattern. I'll probably knit it again. I just wasn't loving the colors that I picked for it. And I think it's a nice stash buster. So I got those back in my stash because I'm honest. And the last thing that I had come in was my advent calendars for the month. So let's talk about some advent knitting. Actually, let me talk about this for a minute and then I'll give you my stash update number. So the advent calendars that I got this year were, I'm splitting the Cozy Knitter with a friend and that should be arriving today. They got it and wound it. So I had the leftovers. I actually gave it to one of my friends over the weekend from last year. So I don't want to knit 2 pairs of socks with that. So we're just going to split it. So I have that coming. Cozy Knitter. If you're not familiar, it's like a striping sock yarn. And you knit a stripe a day from December 1st to like December 24th. And that's it. So then you have like a cute Christmas pair of socks at the end of the month. So I have that coming. The other thing I tried this year is the Freckled Whimsy striped Advent skein. So that's in here. It says no peeking. So I haven't looked at this yet. Honestly though, I am probably going to line this up probably tonight or tomorrow just to get everything prepped and ready for myself to knit. Doing vlogmas is a lot of work because I'm recording all day, but then I'm also editing and uploading a video every day. So I'm just trying to make it as easy and like fun for myself as possible. So I had that come in. So those are two like sock advents. And then actually the only advent calendar I was able to get this year was Shirley Bryan Yarns. I discovered her on Instagram, I think over the summer. I don't even remember when I ordered this, but she does these really fun like inverted fade sock set type of things. And I saw it and I was like, wow, that's really beautiful. And so I followed her, but then I saw she did a fade advent calendar last year that was really, really pretty. And so I couldn't pass it up, so I decided to order it. So that came. And honestly, I don't have any plans for this. Just not yet. I think my December knitting plans are really going to be getting the socks done, finishing some gift knits. Maybe I'll work on my habitation throw. I'm just going to kind of take it as it comes because I want it to be relaxing and fun. And also, I don't know what this fade's going to look like. So I don't want to start a project with it if I don't know what the fade looks like in whole. So I'm just going to open it every day and then maybe in January take a look at it and see how I'm feeling about it. Do I want to try and make like a sweater out of it? Do I want to try and make a wrap out of it or a shawl? I know there's quite a few really good fade projects out there. If you have a favorite or any recommendations today or as we go ahead and vlogmas, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts because I'm open to trying some new patterns. So that also came in today. So in total for November, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 skeins come in. And I started with 105, which puts me at 117 in. But I used 1, 2, 3, 4 skeins for projects, so those went out. So really my total count now is 113. I have 113 skeins of yarn in my stash. So that's my stash update. Let's see. Let's get back to, okay, finally some announcements. The only announcements we have today are that one, I'm doing vlogmas. Mentioned at the beginning, but this is the last podcast episode for 2022, but it's not the last you're seeing of me. So tune in every day leading up to Christmas for a daily vlog for me. See what I'm up to. Let's just relax and Advent knit or Christmas knit or holiday knit or knit, whatever you're knitting all through the holiday season together. And on the last episode, I did do a giveaway, and I want to announce the winners here. I had 2 project bags to give away, a purple and an orange, and so I will put the giveaway winners here. So if you are a giveaway winner, congratulations. Please take this as a token of my appreciation for how grateful I am to have all of you here and this amazing community that we're starting to create here on the Krafty Kristina channel. So if you're the winner, please send me an email. Information is in the description box below, and as soon as I hear from you, I can get those shipped out to you soon. So with that being said, I'm going to take us into a little plant tour, plant update. So if you're interested in sticking around for that, stay tuned for the plants. And if not, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys. a lot of stuff happening in here, you guys. So many changes from the last video, and I don't even know where to begin. I think some of the most notable changes are we have vegetables growing right now, which is very exciting. I don't know where to begin. We have this in our basement. Our basement has started to get very cold, so we added a heater in here to kind of supplement some heat, and we've got a temperature gauge over there, so it's 75.6 in here right now, which is super good, but also 75% humidity, so it's really like stuffy. So I just like close myself in as best I can to keep the heat in. We also, I actually mean Zach, put in, I don't even know how to describe it. Excuse me, I just ate some lunch. Like heating coils underneath the floor in here, so the floor is warm, which keeps the base. We had some stunted growth with our peppers in particular, and I think it was due to accidental overwatering and the dirt being too cold. So you can kind of see up over there, we've got, don't focus on my finger, focus on the thing. You can kind of see on the other side of this seed tray that there's like a pocket, and the whole like silver floor lifts up, and there's another bottom. So we've got like some heating wires under there and some sand, and that's keeping like the bottoms warm. But we've got one of my houseplants in here. It's pretty unhappy. Some crazy good looking basil. This is a hot pepper plant. I don't know what kind. This is a hot pepper plant. I don't know what kind. This is also a hot pepper plant, and so is that. I just had a pack of like random seeds. Actually, one of these two is a banana pepper, but I'm thinking maybe it's that one. This is a red bell. This is a red bell. There's also a red bell pepper growing in here somewhere. I don't know if you can like see that. I'm trying to be really delicate because I don't want to like hurt anybody, but that's bell pepper growing. We've got lots of flowers in here. Like here's another one. Look at them all. Oh, another bell pepper. Whoa, really hard to tell. That's one growing. See, the flower just fell off. So trying to be delicate here, but we've got some bell peppers on here growing. I also think we might have some hidden peppers in here. My speculation is that this is a cayenne pepper because it's tall and skinny, and the flowers are teeny tiny, and this is what our last cayenne pepper we gardened before looked like. We've got some rosemary here, some lemon basil there. This is regular basil. I wish you could see how tall this is. This is like my leg for reference. This is up to my knee. This is going to get pruned back. We're going to have a pesto party with some of the in-laws. Make some pesto out of this. We've got green onions in here now. These are actually ones we bought from the store and planted as an experiment. But like this, the tiny skinnier ones, those were grown from seed. I've got some chamomile here, lavender there. This is dill. Our dill is recovering from, what is it called? Not white mold. I don't know. Powdery mildew. And so I've been treating it with that because I don't know how that happened, but it did. We've got some leaf lettuce now over here. And check out that blueberry. Such an improvement from the last episode. Most notable here, we've got our tomato plants. These two have started to flower. These are some kind of cherry tomato. Like honeygold or something. We bought these tomatoes from a local Italian market that were really good. So we saved some seeds and planted them, and they grew. So that's really exciting. But this is probably our most prolific plant right now. If you can see here, all of these are tomatoes. These are going to be Roma tomatoes. So we have so many up here. We've caged them. Same thing here to the left. All have little flowers growing and tomatoes. More tomatoes here. Literally every single one of these flowers pollinated and has a tomato. I don't know how well you can see. And then this one down here also. Whoa. I mean, look at those guys. They're perfect. So I think all in all, there's like 20 Roma tomatoes on this plant alone. And then the other tomato plant is also growing some tomatoes. Kind of hard to see back in there, but these are called Sweetie. So they're smaller than a cherry tomato, but they're supposed to grow in a cluster, I think, and ripen all at the same time. So we've got some there. We've got, I think, some starting to grow back there. Over here, there's a few. Whoa. Oh, and also there's a bunch over there and back there. So lots of tomatoes going. Everything's looking really good. And then we started some seeds back there. Celery, rainbow chard. What else do we put in there? Cilantro. And then like a salad bowl lettuce is also. So that's the garden update. Here I am. All the plants. Alright, you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.